What is up, guys? This is Sam Talks About Games, and today I'm going to be talking about the words the CEO of Pokemon Company has for Pokemon's future. Now, recently I haven't been talking about a lot of news, but when it's something significant, such as the VGC Switch 2 article or something like this, stuff concrete, I'm going to talk about it. So, the Pokemon Company CEO says that they're going to re-evaluate the release schedule of Pokemon. They're having internal talks and negotiations. So, what got us to this point, might you say? I'm sure you know why, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet had one of the worst launches of all time for any game. It was pretty bad. And it's a stain on their reputation. It's a stain on the Pokemon Company's reputation, and foremost, it's a stain on Nintendo's reputation, even though they didn't make the game. So I'm sure Nintendo's very unhappy. Even though they raked the money in, their reputation is stained, and their 2022 lineup wasn't as bolstered as it should have been, just because of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's failure. So, what I will say is that I do think that this was a long time coming. Sword and Shield felt rushed. Legends Arceus was the best Pokemon game on the Switch, let's be honest. And it was pretty good, but it caused Scarlet and Violet to feel rushed. I think Pokemon Company should take 5 years for their games. Not just 4, 5. Because all the issues in Scarlet and Violet, that would not have taken a year to finish. Because you could not go into houses. All the technical issues. That's a 2-year project. That is not a 1-year project. So, what do I think they're going to do? Well, I think there's many ways they could go about this. A way they could go about it is, since more and more Nintendo games are using Unreal Engine, I believe Pokemon could do this as well. So they could take Unreal Engine 5, use that on the Switch too. Because I doubt they've reevaluated their release plan for next year's Pokemon game. I think they're still going to have one next year. It's either going to be a remake or Legends Arceus. So I think that they could use Unreal Engine 5, and that would get rid of all the bugs that are in Engine. So Scarlet and Violet would have been a lot more stomachable if it used Unreal Engine 5. But I don't want them to use Unreal Engine 5 and still keep the 5-year or the 3-year release timing. I want them to take 4 to 5 years, take as much as you need, and actually make the game fleshed out, make it look good. You know, a game I could compare this to is the Tales of series is taking more time on their games, and they're looking and playing better. Starting with Arise, they've started taking more time on their games, and it's really working out for them. Sales are better. Pokemon, I don't know how much better sales can get, but at least you have the goodwill of the consumer, right? Yeah, I think they're going to go Unreal Engine 5 or something like that, and an engine that is already made, maybe the Zelda engine, and I think that that's going to be used, and that's it. That's in a happily ever after story. What do I think they're actually going to do? Well, I think there is a good chance that they use Unreal Engine 5, but there's also a good chance that they don't, and they have pride, and they don't because of that pride. But if they don't, I do think that they're still going to take more time. So something I could collaborate this to is the Pokemon anime hasn't even started the Scarlet and Violet arc. So it seems the Pokemon anime is taking longer to catch up with the games now. Like by now it should have been started already, but it hasn't. It's about at least a year behind, and counting. So it could end up being 2 years behind. So Pokemon games may take a lot longer going forth. Um, I don't think this anime thing is concrete proof, but I think it's good proof. I think there's enough evidence there to suggest that they're taking longer. They don't need to keep themselves on a 3-year budget for their games. Like, the Pokemon Company does not handle these timings. Nintendo does not handle these timings. It's all Game Freak, the developer, saying that they only need 3 years, and then they come out with a shit show of a game 3 years later. So, I think Nintendo and Pokemon Company want to take more time at this point. And I think Game Freak's going to follow. I will also add that working conditions at Game Freak are not good. Uh, they're one of the worst rated companies to work for on Glassdoor in Japan. So I think that's because of crunch. They're always on crunch for 3 years. Then it's more crunch. I believe that's what's going on there. And, if I was them, I would want to take longer. Take your time. Do what Zelda does. Tears of the Kingdom took a year to polish. The game could have came out in March 2022. It was done. But they didn't. Metroid Prime 4 is likely done. But that's not going to come out till next year. You know? Prime 4, there's a lot of insiders saying that it's done. That was done earlier this year. But they're going to polish it until it's a really good game that sells because of its quality. At some point, Pokemon's going to suffer the consequences of releasing unfinished games if they don't fix their shit, because sales are going to dip. People are going to get tired of it. Scarlet and Violet, we see that, yes, it had a very hot start, but in the past quarter, it only sold like 250,000 copies. That's as much as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sells in a quarter. And that game's only sold not even 3 million lifetime. So, Scarlet and Violet does not have legs because of its quality. But what if it had quality? It would have legs. Sword and Shield had a little bit of legs. It wasn't a perfect game, but not even close to a perfect game. But it was at least a finished product that you could play and finish. It just felt very uninspired. At least Scarlet and Violet, they tried with the open world thing, but they just didn't give themselves enough time to do it. 3 years to make an open world game as well. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on this matter. And I think Pokemon Company is definitely going to take a lot longer to make their games. Yeah, that's about it. That's it.